What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the next game review, and this particular game is a game that I'm really excited to be talking about with you all today. I've been watching this game ever since I believe it was announced, I think last year during a Sony State of Play. If I remember correctly, it was either they were doing their third-party showcase, but anyways, I got very excited knowing the style of the game, the action, the anime look to it, and just the overall feel and the unique hybrid this game was going for. Moving on with today's review, I'm here to talk about Eternights, a unique hybrid of a dating sim, an action game with a Persona style feel all combined into an anime feel. And also, to let you guys know, and this might be completely wrong, and please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, I believe this is actually the debut game from Studio Sai. Really quick, on that matter alone, I want to congratulate Studio Sai for releasing their very first game, especially with a game of this size and scale. Just to be fully transparent, I was sent a review copy, and the footage that you're seeing was captured on a PS5. In Eternights, we play as a character who one day something or someone has essentially affected people and has made monsters out of these people, and this particular person or thing is only obsessed with violence and power, and it's essentially trying to start, well, the apocalypse. You gather a group, essentially a motley crew of people, and you and your group are going to fight against this particular person to find a cure. And hey, alongside the way, not only are you trying to save the world, but you might just find love in the process. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, this is a game that I've had my eyes on ever since last year. I mean, just the hybrid sim, or the hybrid unique blend of the anime style feel, the strategic combat with the dating sim, along with this Persona style of gameplay, had me very intrigued. I'm happy to say that in my 12 hours of playtime of Eternights, I have had a really good time with this game. While there are some issues with this game, which I'll get into later, guys, it's time to get into why I really enjoyed Eternights. Yeah! Something I have to address is just how cool this game looks. This is a game very clearly taking a very anime style approach, not only in terms of the 3D gameplay style and the art direction, but the beautifully and the gorgeous 2D animated cutscene. Eternights has this really cool art direction with colors that absolutely pop. There are these sequences where you're either sitting on a boat or you're talking to these people, I guess, in this dream world, and these sequences, the colors and the saturation of the color palettes looked absolutely stunning. Like, this is a beautiful looking game. When you see the cutscenes that involve the 2D style of animation, these scenes look absolutely stunning. Like, I was constantly wowed by, especially given, by the way, that this is a small remote team and their debut game. This is a game that came out so darn good. Something else I have to discuss is the unique concept that Eternights is presenting to us. Eternights is a concept of which it takes combat, very reminiscent, at least in my eyes, a Devil May Cry, but it has a more strategic approach to it, in which how you use your characters, a Persona-like system in terms of the dialogue and meeting characters with a dating sim. I will have more to say on that later on, but I generally do think that the concept that this game is presenting to us, but this is a game that I generally think that for the most part establishes a really cool concept that does take the best elements from other games and it does combine them into a really cool, and like I mentioned before with this word again, a unique concept. Something else that I want to discuss is the storyline. Obviously, without going into any spoilers, Eternights has a very fun story that for the moment it starts, or I should say for the first 5 minutes, it establishes some very high stakes. The dating sim part is very obvious the moment it starts off, where your best friend, Chani, is trying to say, hey, you need to get a girlfriend, man, and you start getting the sap up. Seeing how this game starts off as, hey, you're about to go on your first date, and then out of nowhere, the apocalypse starts forming around you, and you're just going like, what the hell is going on here? As the game progresses along and as everything fleshes out, not only is the game's story a lot of fun, but there are some genuine characters, which goes on to the next thing I gotta talk about. There are some genuinely likable characters. Every character has their own distinct personalities. Like, for example, Chani is a character that at first, and this is the only thing that I'll go into a bit more detail on, but Chani is a character, aka your best friend, that is at first a little bit jealous given how you have a cool ability, but as time goes along, he is a character that really becomes a foundation that is only there to support you and build you up, making you stronger in battle. Sia, I thought, was a really cool character. Yuna, who is the pop star and is having these healing abilities. Mia as a character who I found to be this really cute and this really adorable character that only wants to be coached by you. The characters I mentioned, by the way, I should just mention, are just the characters that I'm talking about, because this game has many more characters. If there's something that I loved about this game with the characters, is that you generally grow to not only like but love these characters. And heck, like I mentioned you guys earlier, this is a game that does combine a dating sim concept, and you can actually form a relationship with these characters, which I didn't expect to see how the relationship system would form. Throughout the game, you can decide to spend your time with any character, whether it's building up your relationship or scavenging certain items or building up and leveling up. As when you go onto the battlefield, not only do these characters that you form relationships not only make them stronger, but also help you get stronger in battle as well. One of the reasons why I was looking forward to this game is because of the combat system. The combat in this game is not only just really cool, but it actually offered a lot more strategy than I thought. Originally, this game has a bit more of a hack and slash feel with a dodge mechanic that does go into a slow-mo mode. But as I mentioned, as you meet more characters and as they join you on your quest, the game actually opens up a lot more strategic combat than I expected. Like for example, while you're in battle, Yuna is a character that's essentially your battle mage, even though she doesn't really do much attacking, but she heals you. Sia is a character that has these ice mechanics. This is a game that gradually opens up more and more in terms of the combat, and the combat, especially when you're taking on, let's just say, a quote-unquote team attack, Sia's elemental attacks, and you going in and beating the fuck out of them, followed by just you hammering down with your elemental sword, or the sword coming out of your hand. Something else I have to mention here, like I mentioned you guys earlier, Eternights is an RPG, and I actually thought that the RPG system in this game was very well handled, in which as you go throughout the game and as you're not only doing combat, but building relationships with your fellow characters, whether it's forming a relationship or making your friendship stronger, you get this essentially a black or a white essence depending on which character you're helping or which skill they're trying to develop. The RPG system I thought was a lot of fun. I also thought that the musical score, oh my god, especially in combat, the musical score has this very electronic feel to it, and I'm not even joking when I say this to you guys. If they release this score on YouTube or even on record at some point, I cannot believe that I almost forgot to mention this. The dungeon system I thought was really well developed. The dungeons are not only very well designed, the dungeons are very well paced. Each dungeon had a very cool look to it, and I found myself exploring the dungeons a lot more than I expected. Out of everything that I liked about this game, the thing that I loved the most doesn't really have to do with any of the systems in this game, but you can tell that throughout this game that this is a game that was made with so much passion, love, and care. You can feel the passion and the love for the game the studio side was trying to create throughout the entire game. So seriously, round of applause to Studio side for putting your passion to a game that you clearly cared about. Ah! God damn it! Do I have my issues with this game? Absolutely. Now, like I mentioned you guys earlier, Eternights is a game that combines a lot of concepts together, but I honest to God think that there were times where not all of those mechanics and all those elements combined together as seamless as they wanted to. There are bits and times where the dating style didn't quite work out. There are times when I generally think that some elements could be fleshed out a bit more, especially in terms of the combat, at least in my personal opinion. And there are times where the character relationships didn't seem as fleshed out as they could have been, but the character relationships were a bit of a, let's just say, that's just the nitpick part of the aspect. I completely get that, and again, please comment below, me know if I'm completely wrong on this one. I completely get that studio's side was making their first game with this game, but I'm not going to guys want to say this. The UI for this game, especially when you go into the menu screens, it felt like something that was thrown together at the last second. It just doesn't feel like it was as well developed and as polished as it could have been. There are some times the animation seemed a little bit stiff, in particular when you're going to do your final move. There are times when the animation seemed a little bit stiff. Personally, on my end, this is a bit more of a nitpick, and I don't know if some people will agree with me on this one, but something in particular was seeing the date every second of playing the game. I didn't need to see the calendar date every single second of the game. If it just showed me the changing dates going from, let's say, the 12th to the 13th or the 13th to the 14th, you guys get my point. If it just showed me the changing dates, the day and night cycles, that would have been cool, but just seeing the calendar date every single second, it just, I don't know why it was a thing, but I didn't think it needed to be in there. That's just personally on my end. So overall, Eternights is a game that I had a really good time with. Eternights is a game that has a unique concept of taking mechanics from different games, and I think for the most part, it pulls them off. Is Eternights without its flaws? Absolutely not, but at the same time, I cannot deny that I had a really good time with Eternights. All in all, I'm gonna give Eternights a 7.5 out of 10. I would definitely consider picking this game up, guys. It is a really good time. So comment down below and let me know. Have you guys played Eternights? What'd you all think of it? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'm also on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the usernames are in the description below. I hope you'll enjoy my review of Eternights. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell for my next review goes live. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click to the left or right side of the screen. And of course, when my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.